Joshua. Just Joshin. Joshua. Hey, Bradley Charbonneau here. It's early. It's Wednesday morning. Or Tuesday morning. I don't even know what day it is. And I've been intermittent fasting again. And what happens when I'm doing intermittent fasting, otherwise known as skipping dinner, I sleep better, I sleep shorter, I sleep more deeply, and I wake up earlier and with more energy, and I just feel better, and frankly, this is going to sound weird, but more confident. And then I often have better meditations. There's no downside, as far as I can tell. The only downside is I skip dinner, and so socially, my wife gets kind of annoyed, and she's like, "Oh, really? Are you having water? Eat smakelijk," as you say in Dutch, which is like bon appetit, which I realize is also, what do you say in English anyway? Like, what do you say? Good appetite? No, wait. Enjoy your meal? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Sidetracking, back to Joshua. This is disclaimer for all of you non-woo, non-spiritual people out there. First of all, if you're missing out on a spiritual element in your life, then I can humbly say, and in my own humble opinion, that it's an element of your life that I wish upon you that you had more. Because when I got more spirituality in my life became much deeper, more meaning, more purpose, more happiness, more joy, deeper, deeper, deeper. And not negative, deeper, and bad and dark and serious, not at all. In fact, that kind of brings me to my little story. I used to do these a lot more, and this is remember woo disclaimer? This is going way woo. If you're not woo or don't even want to hear about woo, goes way woo. That'd be a good podcast title. Way woo. This is way woo. Joshua. Who in the world is Joshua? If I remember, I will put in the link to the past life regression meditation that I was listening to. It's an hour long. It's really long, and I love it. And it's two of my favorites from Insight Timer, which is my favorite meditation app, where I think I'm on my streak. I think my streak is 540 days at the moment. And it's like Alessandrina, and Dexter. I like that sort of juxtaposition of Alessandrina. She's like this cute Spanish woman. And there's like Dexter. I'm Dexter. He's like some German Poindexter, right? Okay, dude, can you get back? Can you keep with the program here, Mr. Focus? It's 5:30 in the morning, totally dark outside. And let me get to the program. If you are still listening, then you are a diehard, repossible listener. And have I mentioned I love you lately? There you go. You've got it straight from me. Here we go. Joshua. It's not going to be really long. In fact, my ramblings here are longer than the story itself. What happens in a past life regression, especially this long version, is you go back. Like you really relax. She does a great job of relaxing your body and just getting it down to like you are like melting into your chair or your bed, and you're just like a blob of boneless chicken breast, right? So you melt, and you're just at one with your chair or mattress. And if you want to know a little secret, here you go. This is something very woo about me. During meditation, I often have like one palm up and one palm down. And if I'm lying down, I'll often have like one foot sort of facing up and one foot sort of facing down. And I am connecting both to below me and above me, the roots and the branches. Because the higher the branches, the deeper the roots. Or you can put it the other way, the deeper the roots, the higher the branches. The roots being, connected and grounded and like closer to reality and the earth and stuff like that. And the branches are more up there in the heavens and spiritual and angels and universe and all that yummy stuff. So I used to think I only need up there, but I slowly was thoroughly convinced that we need the down there as well. So I've got connection to the grounded and the above, and that's when I So Alessandrina, she takes you through, and you go first to like a childhood memory. I often go to the very same thing. It's like my 6-year-old birthday. I'm having carrot cake because I loved carrots as a kid. In fact, I ate so many carrots that my teeth wouldn't come in because my gums were so strong and hard. My teeth couldn't break through. I had to have surgery. They cut open my gums. Anyway, have I mentioned sidetracking much? Have I mentioned tangents? Have I mentioned does this have anything to do with anything? And yes, it does. Because wortel is the Dutch word for carrot. And I wonder if that word carrot, R-O-T, has anything to do with root. Because wortel also means carrot, and it also means root. And again, back to the earth and back to grounded and back to carrots, and they're healthy and they're orange and they're pretty. And I am rooted in this healthy root of a snack. So that's what I grew up on. I grew up on carrots. In fact, I ate so many carrots at some point that my skin kind of turned orange. Yeah, it's weird. So you go back to this birthday when you're a kid, and I'm having carrot cake on my back patio there on my childhood home. That was great. Then you go back, it's a little odd, but you go back to like being in the womb of your mother. I know, it's weird. Hey, did I give a disclaimer yet? Yes, I did. Then you go pre that. That's when you get into the like past life regression. I've talked a lot about past life regression. I really enjoy it when you get into it, and it's crazy, it's fun, it's weird, it's wacky. And if you dig in and you get experience and you really let it flow, then it can be really fun. So Joshua is the name. I usually get a name. By the way, speaking of communication, it's called like nonverbal communication. So it's not that I necessarily hear a voice or somebody's talking to me, but the sort of words just often come. So Joshua came to mind. And what I liked about Joshua is I think it's a very like grounded, serious name. And if I paid more attention in Catholic school, I think I would understand some sort of religious reference, but I don't. So you can fill me in if you want to comment on that and tell me what Joshua means. But what I also like is that there's a verb in English to josh around. You're just joshing me. And it's like kidding or joking. And then there's a really interesting word, Jester, Jester, which is like a court jester who is like a clown kind of. So that's where this guy comes in. So what happens in a past life regression is that I tend to fall from space or the clouds or above, and I sort of let myself float into a past life. And this past life is then a past part of my present life. I have an entire episode on this where I see a mosaic, like a mosaic of glass tiles, and that each person is made up of this mosaic of glass tiles, and each little piece of this glass mosaic is a past life and or a future life, right? So me, Bradley Charbonneau of 2025, I am one little mosaic, and I even saw where it was. It was in his right hip bone. Super weird, right? You get these weird details. I don't ask for them. They just arrive. And I'm in this. The Bradley Charbonneau of present day was a part of Joshua, the sort of jester dude from way back when. And we even like talk, right? He's like, who in the world are you? And like, why am I communicating with what in the world is this, right? I'm like, I try to explain sometimes, but they don't really get it. I'm like, I'm a spirit from the future. And they're like, whatever, bro. I don't think Joshua said whatever, bro, but it's my own interpretation. Speaking of my own interpretation, here's what the deal was. So this was interesting. So back to, I was going to say Wilhelmina, which is a Dutch queen. No, Alessandrina, back to past life meditation regression. She brings you back, right? And she it's almost like a body scan of this person, right? This past life person, and says, what did you look at your feet, and what shoes are you wearing, or whatever. So Joshua here, it was like white tights, like a ballet person. I don't know what you call is a male ballerina a ballerina, or is a ballerina female and a ballerina male is something different? I don't really know. Anyway, white tights like a ballerina person. And then up the legs, more white tights, and then like a not a tutu, but it was really colorful. And so here's Joshua's dilemma. And remember, all this is like nonverbal communication. I'm just there in my meditation, trying not to think about, what I need to buy at the supermarket in the present day in 2025, but what's going on here, right? So Joshua's in a bit of a pickle. Joshua's having a bit of a challenge because Joshua is like a jester, right? So a jester is this sort of clown, funny person, often hired by royalty or a king to be the comedy act, right? To be the funny, lighthearted entertainment, frankly. And so Joshua here, he was a jester or a clown even, wearing his white tights and his sort of clowny. If you look up Jester, if you Google Jester and look at images, you'll see what I mean, and then you'll appreciate this. So it's not a clown like a present day clown, but he's decked out in usually very colorful outfit with like funky, not even pants, but like baggy shorts and not baggy shorts like your California surfer dude, but you'll see. And, a cap and super colorful and stuff. So that's Joshua. However, Joshua, not so secretly, but he can't sort of say this. And remember, this is all just like coming to me, this whole story, and this whole thing that's taking me longer to explain than the experience, right? The experience, sometimes it's in seconds I can get. It's like a download of information. It's right. So, what is Joshua thinking, and what does Joshua really want? And isn't this crazy stuff, right? I mean, this is why I like meditation. People are like, oh, I can't, stop thinking of my dog. And if you can just get past your daily dog thoughts and dig into some of this stuff, I mean, hello, Joshua, Jester from way back when, seriously. So this is what I totally geek out on, and I think is super fun. And did I give the woo disclaimer? I think I've given 14 woo disclaimers. So if this is too woo for you, then see you next week. But honestly, as I said, if you don't have enough woo in your life, then you're kind of missing out. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. So Joshua's dilemma, and remember, often these people, there's some element of you in them, and there's some element of them in you. So that's what's kind of fun, is you can kind of see, okay, is there anything here that is sort of part of them is me, or how can I learn something? Or it's not always about learning, and it's just might be a fun story. But I related to Joshua because he didn't really feel like a jester. And there were other jesters around. They're a group, and they're like a team, and they're a troop of jesters, and they're doing their work, and they're fun people. They are, and don't get me wrong, Joshua is a lighthearted guy. Remember the verb to josh. So he joshes around. He does smile and laugh, and he's a jokester. I mean, that's probably how he got the job as a jester, right? You don't give it to the accountant. So Josh the jester. See, Josh the jester would actually like to be, I'm just going to use the word ballerina. I don't know if that's the appropriate term for the male ballerina, ballet dude. It's probably not called ballet dude. But the Josh the jester really deeply wants to become a ballerina. So there's the dilemma, right? Josh the jester is a jester, but would rather be a ballerina, or thinks of himself as a ballerina. He thinks of himself as, I am sort of bigger and better than this. I am not just a jester. Are we having fun with alliteration yet? And sound and verbs and names? Just Josh is not just a jester. Okay, if you can't have fun with me at 5:30 in the morning, then, I don't know what to do. Here we go. So what is the problem? Josh the jester thinks he's more than that. And this, I can totally jive with Josh the jester, because I often feel like that. am I just an entertainer, and I'm a writer and podcast and YouTube, and is that who I am? Is that my meaning and purpose in life, or am I more? Was I meant for more? But then, what is more? Is it just a bigger stage, or more money, or do I need to be on TV? Right? What is that? Right? What does Joshua really want? Because if you think about it, what is Joshua doing? Joshua is still entertaining people. Does Joshua actually like the dance, or does he like the show, or does he like the pomp and circumstance? Here we go. Josh wants to be respected. Can you tell the Bradley is coming through here? Josh wants respect. And Josh doesn't feel like, as a jester, he gets the more serious respect that he feels that he deserves. Now, I don't know anything about Josh's past or upbringing or anything like that, but he wanted that. And, did he get it? And so another element of the past life regression with our new best friend, Alessandrina, is you go to the end of that life. Remember, that life is come and gone, right? And Josh the Jester is long gone. I didn't get a sense of time. I often get a sort of a year, or at least a century or something. I don't know. But then again, if you think of jesters and kings and queens and something, it's got to be a while back. Maybe a few hundred years, right? So the end of his life, and you're sort of there. Alessandrina brings you to his last day or something like that. And he was fulfilled. He was happy. And I don't know the details on whether or not he became a ballerina or not, but he was fulfilled and happy and did his purpose. And see, deep down, Joshua was like a prankster. He was a jokester. And he liked that. He secretly had the most fun when he's just joshing around, right? True to his name. He didn't, maybe that was it. Maybe Josh thought he was really Joshua, the serious, professional ballerina. Whereas Josh, the joshing around jester, is that who he really was? Deep down, was he a jokester and a prankster and a jester and a clown? And that's where his true heart lay. My mom would kill me. That's where his true heart was. It's a little early for grammar. Okay, there you have it. I think I try to stay under 10 minutes. I think I'm long beyond 10 minutes because I'm enjoying this, because pro tip alert. When you do a meditation and you get deep into it, if you know a better solution, please tell me. But I will forget them. They will fade pretty quickly. I mean, I meditate every single morning. I don't always go this deep. I don't always get such a glorious story of Josh the Jester and all that stuff. I mean, this was an hour-long meditation that I started at 4 a.m. And I sort of opened my eyes again. It was 5:16. So it's early. And I don't always get such good stuff. But today was good. And I like Josh the Jester. And then, so here's my pro tip, is go talk about it to yourself, right? If you're a write down pen and paper kind of person, go for it. If you're that used to be me. I used to be more write down pen and paper. Or if you want to hop onto a computer, great. I kind of don't recommend the computer because that's going to sidetrack you into all kinds of other computer stuff. Whereas here, this is my preferred method. No video. I am in pajamas here. And it's 5:30, right? I mean, well, now it's probably 5:45, but it's super early. Pepper's not even awake, right? I even walked by him, he didn't even budge. So it's super early, and I'm recording the audio sort of recap of my meditation. And you don't know this, but I can dig more deeply into the experience by talking through it, ideally immediately after it happens. So, pro tip there on bringing something in deeper into your system or heart or brain or mind or heart or gut is to talk through it after the experience. Ideally, immediately after the experience. Don't do anything else. Just jump into the recording. Okay. If you're still with me, leave a comment and let me know if you like this past life regression stuff. I know it's deeply personal. I kind of can't believe I share this stuff publicly, but I long ago got over any fear of sharing public stuff. And frankly, I get enough messages and notes from people, often privately, who are like, wow, thank you for that. So if this resonated with you, if you'd like to know more about past life regression, I will leave the link to my girl there, Alessandrina, and her boy Dexter. And I'll leave a link to the Insight Timer to their exact meditation. And let me know if you have any experience with past life meditation. I'd love to hear it. And what do you think of this recap here? I know it's super long. If you listen to the whole thing, seriously, you are a rock star, and I love you. And I'm not kidding either. I do. I love you. There you have it. It is super early. I think like there's a peak of lighter sky up above. I'm going to go see if Pepper's waking up and get some tea and get a jump on this morning because it's starting off pretty well. I hope you have a great day and enjoy and live deeply. And yet, don't forget Josh the Jester, because I bet Josh, it had a good life.